Welcome to the Dan McShane Coaches Show here on WBCB as we get you set for Pennsbury Falcon football. The Falcons visit the Council Rock South Golden Hawks as they travel to Newtown, Pennsylvania tonight. But before we get into the game and before we talk with Coach McShane, I want to let you know about a couple of things happening at Pennsbury High School, including tonight's Black Friday raffle, or you can get your tickets for the raffle tonight as Pennsbury High School's Air Force Junior ROTC will be holding a Black Friday raffle. Tickets already available. They'll be available right up until November the 18th, and each ticket purchased will enter you in a drawing for a chance to win one of three Visa gift cards. The winners are going to be announced on November the 19th. Raffle tickets are $5 each, and the proceeds all go directly towards activities and scholarships for the Pennsbury High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. Also happening tonight at Pennsbury, the Pennsbury High School Air Force Junior ROTC hosting a 12-hour run-walk for those who have served or are serving. The Junior ROTC students running or walking for 12 hours. They're starting at 6 o'clock this evening and will go until 6 a.m. tomorrow. It's a great way for the Junior ROTC cadets to give back to those who are protecting our freedom. The kids' goal is to raise over $1,000 in pledges to give back to A Soldier's Hands. And you can contact Major James McEachern at PHS East for information on how you can support the Junior ROTC program at Pennsbury High School. Also, we're excited to let you know about another event down the road a little bit, but in January, Pennsbury will be recognizing the legendary coach Ed Cochran, a high school basketball coach here at Pennsbury High School, on January 26th. There'll be a ceremony before the game between the Pennsbury Falcons and Lower Merion that day. Later on, there's going to be a social event that we would like to invite all of Coach Cochran's former basketball players to attend. We're trying to get the word out and make this a terrific event for Coach Cochran and his family. And if you want more information, you can contact Rick Baxter at rbaxter322 at verizon.net or get in touch with Bob Crouch. Both these guys working hard to get the details together and figure out how we're going to celebrate after Pennsbury basketball. Bob Crouch can be reached at telephone number 215-499-4570. And we'll get to the Dan McShane Coaches Show here in just a little bit. Again, the Pennsbury Falcons visiting the Council Rock South Golden Hawks. But wanted to let you know about a couple of other things happening in the Pennsbury community, and we hope you'll be able to support those worthy causes and some great events. We're right back here on WBCB with head coach of the Pennsbury Falcons, Dan McShane.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go for the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs. Go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
I'm Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering and can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Restaurante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Restaurante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29 in nearby Ewing Township.
Don't forget, if you miss any of your local high school sports action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at thetrentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian.
Welcome back to the Dan McShane Show here on WBCB as the Pennsbury Falcons get set to do battle with the Council Rock South Golden Hawks. The Golden Hawks have positioned themselves at the top of the SOL, and yet if you guys can come up with a win, you still control your own destiny. Only one league loss right now in the Suburban 1 National. That has to give you guys a look. I mean, you have to win out. Your back's up against the wall. Is that kind of what is being talked about?
Yeah, that's pretty much the message. You know, you can't win out unless you win one. So, and our biggest thing is we have yet to beat have a quality opponent win. So, you know, this would be one of those. You know, and then going forward, we'll see what happens.
Well, you guys got close against the Truman Tigers, falling short 29-24, and the final score I don't think indicates just how close that game was, as you guys were driving in the fourth quarter, moving the football effectively, but unfortunately coughing up a costly interception, which allowed the Tigers basically to chalk the game away. And an impressive victory for Truman. Talk a little bit about what you saw from the Tigers, what you expected going in, and what they were able to do to get the victory.
Well, you know, it always starts with the coaching. I mean, they're very well coached, and they're in a great system for them, and we expected some explosive plays. I think in the first half we limited that. We thought we'd move the ball, and we did that, and obviously we're up at halftime 17-7, and I think the 1-7 we gave them was a result of a muff punt, but you know, we felt like we're real good about our chances, and in the second half the kids didn't we never used the let up term. They made some plays, we didn't.
Reminiscent of some of the early games, we talked last week about how Truman kind of resembled maybe Penwood or Academy Park, a lot of skill position guys, the capability to put together some X plays, and in both those games you had a lead in the game and they were allowed to somehow get a drive together and come away with the victory in the fourth quarter. I mean, did that have some of those similarities?
Sure.
Feel the same to you guys?
We've said all year long in our losses, it's been a pretty good in the beginning, not so good, in the middle pretty good, and at the end not so good. So we just got to tie it all together.
All right, so Council Rock South, the Golden Hawks playing good football. I mean, Chase Patterson is having a great year. They have some experience. So who are you guys particularly trying to key on and make sure that maybe Chase doesn't beat you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of what they do starts, goes through Gallo blocking, throwing him the ball. I mean, I'll tell you what really starts with Vince. I mean, no matter what, it's a great team, football team. They love playing for him. They rallied. They lost their quarterback in the beginning of the year, and everybody thought they were, for dead. But Vinny does a great job with that. Kids love playing for him, and so there's no real one particular player. Remember, Gallo's Division I player, and obviously we've got to be aware where he's at all the time.
So after the Truman game, you guys get to break the film down and kind of see, I don't know, maybe what you missed. What did you were able to see from really looking closely at that game?
Ironically enough, and we talked to our good friends after the game, Coach LaPalambara and Coach Snyder, and we were very, very surprised that the major plays in the football game were throws by them. We were in 8-man front expecting runs, and they threw the ball, and a good call by them, and gutsy call by them, and obviously the risk was worth the reward.
So we look forward to the Council Rock South Golden Hawks, but looking back at the Truman game, you guys are driving down the field, throw goes over there to the near side, and it's picked off. Talk about that play, kind of what you saw, maybe what Drew Henser, your quarterback, saw, and what you guys talked about afterwards.
As a teaching moment for our quarterback, yeah, for sure. I mean, we had an aggressive play there. We thought we'd try to get a double move. We've been successful in that play all year long. They didn't bite on a double move, and they just kind of, I guess, like a typical high school kid, they were told don't get beat deep. So we should have hitched up again. We didn't. We kept on running. So they've got a great kind of chemistry between Henser and Burke, Cook, I should say, and threw the ball, and he threw it out of Division I corner, which and it was a great throw, and it was nothing horrible about it at all. Just the kid made a play.
I mean, it really was amazing to see Javier Peterson, who was the young man who picked the ball off. He, I think, was lined up at safety on that play, and he came over. I thought he was not the primary defender. I thought he came over to help out and make the pick. But maybe I need to go back and check the tape.
Yeah, he was a deep defender. I don't think he was a safety. He might have been a deep third player. I think, based on the formation we came out in, they would check into a post safety, single safety defense with two high corners, and I think he was a corner on that. And we were hoping to try to take advantage of the fact they might be. They played very aggressively all through the summer. 7-on-7, they're really up in our faces. We thought we'd try to get a double move or something like that behind somebody, and we got it last week. And so it's. It giveth and taketh away,
Well, you guys did grind out 278 yards rushing. That seems like it has been steadily developing throughout this season, and against a Truman team that you guys were battling, that's got to be a positive that you take into this Golden Hawks matchup.
Being able to run football is huge at any level, and our group up front has really done a nice job, and we still missed some opportunities in there, but it was a very productive night for them.
And it ended up being a pretty productive night for your running backs. 80-plus yards for Eddie Dualu, 81, I think, for Brad Mickles, and a touchdown for Javon McNeil. But do you see rushing the football? I mean, again, we've talked about it before. I know you like to stay balanced, but it seems like right now the rush is kind of working more effectively for the team?
Again, we want to be balanced. So we're a little bit, we have some concern about our intermediate passing game, and but otherwise, it's a safe bet to run the ball. Get behind that group up front, but teams are going to load the box too, so you have to be able to do something else besides run football. So
talk a little bit about the decision-making process where you send Brady Bergfechtel out there for a 21-yard field goal. He's able to knock it through the uprights. I guess, is there a range that you feel comfortable in putting him out there for 3 points?
Yeah, he's getting stronger and stronger, and he's working harder and harder with his trainer, and so he was definitely within his range, and we kind of felt like they got a pretty good stop down before against us, and I was worried about, it was like a fourth and a long three. It wasn't like it was a short three, if there is such a thing, but let's just take the points and kind of, because they had jumped out 7-3. I didn't want to go down there and stall, and then. So, and God knows they could hit a 98-yard touchdown run from there. They're really explosive.
Well, I ended up with big plays making the difference in last week's game. We'll see what we have for you tonight here on WBCB as the Falcons visit the Golden Hawks of Council Rock South. We'll return here with more of the Dan McShane Coaches Show on WBCB.
The Gator, Jerry Blavitt here, to tell you to tune us in every weekday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. right here at WBCB 1490 AM and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com. And it's brought to you by the Italian People Bakery and the deli at 63 Butler Street in the Chambersburg section of Trenton, and also in Levittown at Woodburn and Oxford Valley Roads, and where all baking is done on the premises at both stores.
Peruzzi Nissan is the home of the 3495 Pennsylvania State Inspection and Admission, and is your full-service automotive facility for all makes and models, regardless of where you purchased your car. Air conditioner tune-up for just $79.95 at Peruzzi Nissan. Buy 3 tires at Peruzzi Nissan and get the 4th one free, plus free alignment checks. Have your car looking showroom new with a value detail package for just $64.95 and a full detail package for only $179.95. Peruzzi Nissan Service, Business Route 1, Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Achieving what you want demands the right game plan. When you team up with PNC, you get the tools and know-how you need to get where you want to go. Whether it's buying a new home, sending your kids off to college, or retiring the way you want, PNC is here ready to help you achieve your financial goals. To discover all the ways PNC can help, stop by any branch or visit PNC.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and since 1986, McCaffrey's Supermarket has been a real supermarket experience and a very proud member of our community. Through good times and bad times, Jim McCaffrey and his family have been there to assist our neighbors when they needed help, whether it's helping flood victims, raising funds for the American Cancer Society, or supporting the local Little League teams. You can count on McCaffrey's to be there. McCaffrey Supermarkets, 635 Heacock Road in Yardley in the village of Newtown, at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Princeton and West Windsor.
The Council Rock South Golden Hawks 3-0 in Suburban 1 League National play, and if you can deliver a loss, as we said, you guys can still vie for a potential share of the league championship, but your back's up against the wall tonight, and as you look at this team, your team, as a coach, everybody is working so hard. You're working hard in the off season. You're working hard in week 1, week 2, all throughout the year. How do you get guys to take it up a notch? I mean, have you identified that guys just need to work harder, and how do you motivate them to do that? I mean, that's
I guess we just got to increase our batting average, so to speak. We got a pretty good batting average going, but at this level, with these type of at stakes in hand, we really have to play close to perfect. The offensive line's up front doing a great job again, but we start the third quarter, and we get a critical missed block, and now not knocked off schedule. We got a punt, and so it's things like that.
So when I hear that, I hear you saying, I like the effort level.
Sure.
But when, certain situations come up, there's just a breakdown in one spot or another spot that isn't always consistent.
Yeah, and again, it's against a really good football team, so you're going to pay a price for it. We talk all the time to the kids now about, just doing ordinary things consistently. We don't need to do anything extraordinary, nobody else's job, just do your job and just be consistent at it.
Well, so far you guys have seen the two teams at the bottom of the league, so the way the schedule rolls out now, you guys have all tough games going forward.
Good.
The Golden Hawks are 3-0, Neshaminy 2-1 in the league, and Abington right now 2-2 in the Suburban 1 League National. Do you hear a sense from other coaches, from your own coaching staff, that you get out there, can scout some of these games, of what to expect in these tougher Suburban 1 League National conferences? I mean, I guess the margin for error is even smaller. Your batting average has to go up all that much more.
Yeah, again, I don't think that anything that CR South is going to do is going to surprise us. They've actually changed their offense, but it's our kids are on a, doesn't matter what offense comes out of the gate. It's they're on a key recognition system, and I think from there, Abington, the same thing. Seeing them on tape, they haven't changed, and Neshaminy is Neshaminy, and it's again, you get to this point in the season, it's like there aren't really a whole lot of surprises. You just got to got to compete consistently.
Well, don't expect to be surprised by the Golden Hawks, at least in the sense that they're going to give the ball a ton to Chase Patterson tonight, and potentially throw the football to Nick Gallo, who you mentioned a bit ago. What do you do defensively about a guy with a guy like Nick, a matchup kind of nightmare, almost like you've compared Sean Miles to Julio Jones, the high school Julio Jones. I think Nick Gallo is like the high school Gronk at this point.
That's a good choice.
And got to kind of double team him, or
well, we talk to our kids often about, especially in critical situations, is don't worry about plays so much as players. Know where they're at and know what they're capable of doing from that location. So we'll be fully aware, just like last week with the Peterson kid, we always knew where he was at, and I think he caught one ball. So we're not going to double anybody, so to speak, but we're going to be aware where they're at. We're going to get friction on them, as they say, and hopefully get them on the ground.
I thought one of the things that you did that ended up being pretty effective against Javier, right? You brought James Hose over, who would oftentimes give him, be physical with him at the line of scrimmage, and then you would have somebody else over the top, maybe Sherrod, I think, who was in coverage a lot of times on that side of the field, who would deal with the receiver once he got through hoses situated.
I think we call it a claw technique. We're going to go out there and take some risk as far as defending the box, but go out there and take away their explosive ability and dare them to throw. I mean, if you throw the hitch or the slant, it should be, in my opinion, an average play is knocked down. A great play is picked off for 6 points the other way. But then the safety's feeling pretty comfortable too because he's got nothing to worry about underneath. All he's got to do is carry over the top of the route.
Is that kind of some of the friction that you might bring for Gallo this week? Similar kind of approach?
Yeah, he's an inside receiver, so he's not an outside guy, and so he's going to try to operate in the middle of the field like a Gronk. So we didn't do a great job of defending the middle of the field last week in critical situations. I mean, we bid on a 4th and 8, run fake, and that's part of learning the game. And we taught our inside linebackers, 4th and 8, and we drill it every day. But it's 4th and 8, you get the ball in the belly. If it's 4th and 8, maybe you're peeking at it, but you're not coming hard downhill. And we just came too far downhill, and they opened up a big void in between the two safeties behind the linebackers, and I think they completed through right to the sticks, and James Hose lit the kid up, but they kept the drive alive and marched on.
Looking at the average score that you guys have compared to how many points Council Rock South has scored this season, you guys typically score a few more points than them. You looking for trying to get them into a shootout type game, or try to go up and down the field with them, outscore them, or it's kind of a foolish question, right? Whoever gets the most points, but I mean, some players or some coaches are trying to outscore. Some coaches are trying to focus on defense a little bit more.
Well, my roots are defense, and the greatest feeling you have as a defensive coach is when you just know you're going to go out in the field and get 3 and outs. And the most alarming feeling is when you're like, oh, what do we got to do to get off the field here? And we've struggled for all season long getting off the field in 3rd and long. And obviously the compounding effect is that our offense doesn't have the ball as much, and we feel like if our offense has the ball, they're going to score a lot of points.
And part of that is kind of the up-tempo way that you guys approach offense, run a bunch of plays and try to catch the defense, huffing and puffing.
We have, and it's part of the philosophy. And we talked before about it's kind of like Russian roulette. The line up real fast, the gun might go off, it might not go off, and so we have various tempos we can go at, and the defense has to kind of be ready to play.
How are the Truman Tigers and the Council Rock Golden Hawks similar on the offensive side of the ball, right? Are they both, in getting ready for Truman, gives you a little bit of an edge this week? Obviously from a system standpoint, Truman's a wing T team. Rock is kind of a little more kind of like the base I formation offense, but they're heavily committed to running the ball. They'll throw it when they have to. Our defensive philosophy is generally, you're going to get most teams, high school teams, are going to run the ball a large percentage of the time, so we're going to be an 8-man front a lot, and if we get you in 3rd and long, we'll maybe play 2 safeties, but generally we're playing 1 safety. So, talking about the defensive side of the ball, real quick, talk about some of your guys who kind of had big performances against Truman. One of the guys who I don't think he's had as many tackles as he did in this last game is Jake Krefitz. Jake had I think 7 tackles. Again, your top tackler once again is Sam Burke, who is all over the field.
Right.
And Nick Lawrence also had a lot of tackles in that game, and he's one of the up front guys looking for more defensive line. It looks like a lot of your tackles are made from your linebackers and your secondary guys. At least they're your top tacklers out of that Truman game.
Right.
It might be one of the indications that you want to get some more of your defensive line guys to factor a little bit more in that statistic.
For sure. Our defensive line are on a rotation. It was very noticeable. We finally got back from illness/injury was Troiano. And he was extremely effective and disruptive, and they couldn't block him. And he was in the field blowing up a lot of plays, but at unfortunate halftime, he kind of was really just developed like a stomach thing, and just couldn't really. We were concerned, but he's a major part of our run defense. It gives us I think he's an unblockable player.
How's he been looking at practice or in the early part of this week? looks like he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I looked for him, and on Monday's practice, he was out in full pads, and we anticipate the rest of this week same thing, and we're going to try to put him on a pitch count, as they say, and his conditioning is not great, but he really loves playing, and again, he's a major factor for us in our run defense.
Well, and that's not going to change up things for you guys too much. You like to rotate fresh legs in there at the defensive line position anyway.
Yeah, again, he's not going to, as I say, play 55 downs, and but we have three, maybe two or three deep other kids that we can roll in there, and like Zach Zolls, he plays defensive end now for us, and we got Sinelli in there playing a little bit of nose, and you saw Flag was in there, and it's nice to have some flexibility there. But if Triano can go, it really opens up our whole toolbox.
All right, Coach, I'm going to ask you to look in the crystal ball a little bit, just in how you think the complexion of this game is going to be. Do you see it as more of a defensive struggle? Do you see both teams scoring a bunch of points tonight?
As a defensive coach, we really want to obviously, keep it a low-scoring game. But Coach Bell's going to go the other way, and he's going to try to score a lot of points. So. Again, crystal ball, I don't make predictions.
Well,
but
even saying a low-scoring game, kind of like, do you guys set certain goals as far as you want to keep them under 20? A good game would be, having...
For example, like last week, I truly felt like we could shut Truman out, and in the first half, other than the muff punt, and then again, we lost Troiano, and not making excuses, but then they made a run and hit an explosive play, and but I have more and more confidence in our defense, the ability to throw it, shut out people.
Well, the defense will be out there tonight as they take on the Council Rock South Golden Hawks, the Pennsbury Falcons, visiting Newtown, Pennsylvania. We'll have the game for you here on WBCB. Again, thanks to head coach Dan McShane for giving us a few moments before Pennsbury Falcon football here on WBCB as they get set for a Suburban One League National Contest battle. And we got the kickoff for you in just a little bit. Thanks again to Coach McShane. Thanks to Harry Steinmetz and everybody here at the Pennsbury Channel. High school football coming up here on WBCB.